do we know anything about their culture? You say that this guy was kidnapped for 6 days, and that there's, research and maybe some stick structures. Do we know anything about their culture? Like when he saw them hanging out, did they seem to be hanging out? I wouldn't even know what to imagine that to be like.
Well, a good report on that is the one John Green did in Apes Among Us. That book can be, and you can read the whole interview that he did with Albert Ostman. Albert Ostman experienced this in 24, but he wasn't interviewed until the 50s, early 50s, when John Green interviewed him. I'm a pilot too. I have my own airplane. I flew up into Toba Inlet where he was supposedly captured, trying to recreate maybe where the path he went looking for where he was kept, because he was hauled off on this Bigfoot shoulder for, I think, 3 hours and kept for 6 days. He gives a good report on what they were doing. They were eating, what they were eating. They were chattering. The kids were playing. There's 2 adults and then 2 adolescents, a male and a female adolescent. So he didn't know if he was there for breeding purposes or for eating purposes, or if I say eating, I meant if it was going to eat him or breed him.
Right, yeah, no, I got where you were going with it.
But he knew something was messing with him. He knew something was messing with him at night, so he took his chewing tobacco, which he put in the sleeping bag because he thought it was probably a varmint of some type and might get his stuff. So he put a few things in his sleeping bag, and that night he got carried off. So he had this can of chewing tobacco, and that's how he escaped. The big male was watching him one time because just one spot of this bowl that he said he was being held in, a 10-acre bowl. And he gave the thing some chewing tobacco. He got sick because it swallowed it. And that's when he shot off. And he talks very detailed about going this canyon, that canyon, this river, that river, where he came out. And just interesting story. And one that if you want to research it, that happened. And then you got the Fred Beck story at Mount St. Helens, same year, 1924. And he claimed he shot one dead on. He didn't miss it. It fell off. He went back to look for the body, and they couldn't find it. He claimed to this dying day that they were paranormal because they would find tracks, because they knew these things were around, these miners at Mount St. Helens. And that's why it's called Ape Canyon now, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
well, I guess, yeah, sure. I live.
And it's written. It was in the newspapers. He went in with like 30 deputies or something trying to search this and do something about it. And anyway, he claimed that they were just something supernatural about him. So who knows? We won't know necessarily everything until we change from our matter into energy and pass to another form. Hey, that was a good one. That's what happens, by the way.
Well, I certainly hope it does. That's for sure. That is my hope, at least.
Well, according to physics, it does.
Well, yeah, I guess it does no matter what on some level, but I'm hoping it's a form that I can enjoy.
You don't want to come back as a bobcat or something.
Right. Yeah. Bobcat's all right. I don't want to come back as a chihuahua or a lapdog. Maybe I do. I don't know.